started off silver, but then it's like rusty gold. Yeah. Trying to give you space. Nope. No. Okay, put that in here. It's about battery power, man. So I'm all set.
7 months since you drove away from my house. Would be lying if I said you were no longer thought about. Bumped into your brother. He promised to knock my lights out. Is there anything dirtier than the words that came out of your mouth? And then you're in my head. I can't shake you out. In bed, you're in my head. I can't shake you out. Shake you out. Shake you out. Late at night and I can't help touching myself. Therapist and closest friends say it's not good for my health. Your best friend showed up in my Instagram. Yeah, I thought of asking her out. Is there anything dirtier
Yeah, I've had it forever, but I've never used it. So I figured I do like a little. Yeah, like maybe like 10 years ago.
Wait, what's the light out there?
Safe outside the sun, comfort without fake need. Voice inside my soul, defeated. Promises I should not give. Believe in me as I believe in.
Yep, that's cool. That's it. That's that. There's that. Tip. Yeah. Let's play that for Ralph. Let's do that song. Let's see what it is.
Hey Wayne, can I get a little kick in my monitor, please? Yes, there it is. Oh, there.
Swimming further to the deep. Promises I could not keep. Promises I should not give. Believe in me as I
I feel like nothing's coming back.
You the one who loves you,